All right, so today what we're going to do is look at some of the latest questions, and I'm going to answer some of them on the channel today. And if you have any questions whilst we go along, feel free to post them in the comments section on the right hand side, and I'll answer those as well as we go along. So what I'm going to do is share my screen, and we'll run through some of the SEO Q&As that we've had recently, some interesting ones popping up. And I've been showing a lot of different ways to get traffic lately, including how to make money with Facebook ads. And by the way, if you're watching this and you want a free SEO strategy session, feel free to get that. Links in the comments and description. And we're just going to get straight into it. So, question from 2 hours ago from David Frost. He says, being retired, it took me about 3 months to finally save enough money to purchase your time, services, and SEO. And then this happens. I appreciate you share, and I'm sorry that your experiments were cancelled by Google. Well, number one, thank you very much to David who jumped on the comments right there. What I would say with this is I'm totally fine with Google coming along and smashing the experiments up, because I think if you're not getting clapped there, you're not pushing yourself to your limits. I think that actually, if you look at the people who have pushed the limits most in SEO, for example, like Carl Roof is a good example of that. You have to get clapped sometimes. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. We all have to be okay with that, and that's totally fine with me. What I would say though, along the way, and I'm just going to switch my mic right here. Let's change that to the shore. Is that it was always going to be expected from day one, right? So, for example, if I'm on YouTube and there's a million people watching me on YouTube, and then at one point there was like 2 million people on Twitter seeing some of the stuff that we're posting, for sure Google had to come along and do something about that, because it's too much power to be able to give that many people the information that's helping everyone rank number one on Google. You can imagine how much money that would cost them if it continued, right? And so I can understand why they would stop people from using AI and bulk generated content, because it was working. They had to manually intervene. So it's all good with me. It's totally fine with me. No worries. It's all there. What else have we got here? We've got Mark, who says there are definitely some golden nuggets in this video. Thanks for sharing. Happy to help, Marcus. And Epic Paint says, hello, bro. And Fat J says, the best guide for making text for SEO with ChatGPT and Co. without getting problems with them. Are they any good website? So when it comes to SEO and creating content, like however you produce it, I don't think it really matters, right? So you can use tools like autoblogging, you could use free tools like ChatGPT, you could write the content manually yourself. But the main thing at the end of the day is just editing the content before you publish it. Now, I have to say that because I'm on YouTube, right? And so I think that if you're going to create a sustainable website that's creating content the right way, using SEO checklists like this video right here, and it'll just guide you through step by step how to create the content. Having said that, what I would say about a checklist like this is that actually it can be so time consuming that sometimes it's just better to get a human writer from day one to actually create the content. And that's one of the reasons that we still only sell human written content to our clients. And it's actually doubled in MMR over the last couple of months, because people are just so interested in human content since these updates came along. Akram says, hey, Julian, always great to catch your live sessions. Let's go. Yeah, happy to have you on. Let's do some SEO today. And Hung Tran on this comment right here says, the website 85 you mentioned has dropped to 51k organic traffic now. Is it because of the AI content and Google update? I noticed that so 85, no one's familiar with this. This is like an automatic translation app, right? And it takes YouTube videos like you can see right here, and then translates them into a blog post on their website, right? Now, if we look at 85's app, this is an AI tool that's completely programmatic, essentially. You can see that they went from 23,000 traffic after the helpful content update, and they just grew like crazy to the point where they were getting nearly 1 million traffic a month. And then it looks like they got hit for scaled content abuse, because they're probably just creating so much content that looked very suspicious. You can see they have 55,000 results. And bear in mind, before August, they weren't getting any traffic at all, right? So an AI translation tool like that, for sure, it's been clapped for having scaled content abuse. It wouldn't surprise me if they received a manual action penalty. But either way, they've either been clapped manually or they've had some sort of algorithmic penalty. and they've just been absolutely smashed. I reckon it says 107k traffic there. I reckon it's actually lower because you can see the trajectory, and usually it's the fact that Ahrefs hasn't quite caught up with the amount of traffic they're getting. But we're getting loads of comments through. Let's have a look what we got here. So Luke says, since the latest Google updates, I will transition. And Epic Paint says, could you audit my Polish website live? Yeah, feel free to post it in the comments. We'll have a little roast together. So yeah, if you post your website in the comments, I'll take a look. As long as you're comfortable sharing that with YouTube, that's fine with me. Fat Jay says, yeah, but can't I trust that human to write the content? Is there any website who is really good? With check if it was maybe AI. So actually, it's quite an interesting one. So I've got to go in 30 minutes because I'm interviewing the founder of Originality, and I'm pretty excited to actually have him on the YouTube channel. Originally, I'm going to be honest with you, I never really saw the benefit of using AI content detectors. But the more that I think about how Google is going to clamp down on scaled content abuse, the more I think AI detection is actually very, very useful for most people. And so we're going to interview him live. Well, not live on the channel, but I'll interview him tonight. If you have any questions for him, let me know in the comments and I'll try and answer him. But yeah, actually, I've got a list of questions somewhere. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, if you're going to use a tool for AI detection, I would recommend using a tool like this. I've actually got a list of questions here. Hopefully they're good ones. So these are the questions I'm going to ask Originality tonight. So for example, how will Google check if AI content is generated? Is it just faster, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to hiring a writer, I know you're asking about the best tools to check human written content. So run it through an AI detector, for example, like Originality. Then you want to run it through Copyscape to make sure it's not plagiarized. And I think you can actually do that in Originality too. And then run it through Hemingway just to optimize readability, right? And those are three of the checks you want to make before you publish your content. Ganzafar says, hey bro, long time no speak, Ganzafar. Shout out to you. Going to create a job listing site for Canada. Any keyword suggestions, please? I bet there's a ton, right? Now, if you look at a job board in Canada, let's switch this over to Canada right here. We'll just find a keyword right now. That's the sort of value we provide on this channel. So if we type in job board over here and we've filtered the country to Canada, you can see it's fairly hard to rank for that keyword. But let's see what else we've got here. So if we filter down the keyword difficulty to like 10 or less, and I'll just, normally we charge like $250 for a keyword research report. For you, my friend, we're going to give it to you for free. So what I'm going to do is have a look down here. Let's see what else we can get. You don't want to really go for the brand names, but I would just look along those sort of search terms, right? Maybe just jobs in general, and then find specialized jobs that have a low keyword difficulty score. So let's have a look. So we got like work from home jobs. I bet a bunch of job boards rank for that. If we scroll down to the first page of Google, yeah, so you can see all these job boards popping up. The only thing that I'd say is that you're competing with like Indeed and LinkedIn, like super high DR websites that rank really well. So probably what you want to do as well is just find some low DR sites ranking in the top 10 as well, right? So we'll filter down by jobs in Canada to keyword difficulty 10 or less, so we know it's easy, and also so that we know there's a lot of low competition keywords at the first page. And now we can see a bunch of keywords that you could realistically rank for, right? So for example, jobs in Edmonton. Let's have a look at the first page here. So we got a DR29 ranking on the first page there, DR56. It's achievable. You might need to build a few backlinks. You can see that the top ranking page has about 7 backlinks pointing to it, but it's fairly easy to rank for that. Let's keep going through and see what else we got. So maybe City of Burnaby jobs right there. By the way, if you're trying to rank in a country like Canada, going for locations, local SEO, so easy right now. It's working really well. So if we look at the first page of Google right here, we've got a DR30 ranking. So that's a realistic page to try and outcompete. You can see it's got no backlinks pointing to it. Living the dream. Keyword research done for you. I'll send you the invoice in the post. Now, just kidding. But yeah, that's basically how I would do it. Let's keep going through now. Serenity says, how do I solve, out of context, how do I solve this stupid largest contentful paint that is slowing my homepage speed, where there is just an image and around 50 words, but I still get this on mobile speed result? So typically what I do, I'm going to go into page speed insights now, and we'll have a cheeky gander. Let's have a look at cheaperbirds.com, the one and only. Let's have a look at Julian Goldie as well. We'll run the analysis there, check the numbers, crunch the numbers. That's interesting because this is actually run. Yeah, so you can see it's passed on desktop, but it's actually failed on mobile. What's interesting about this is we use NitroPack, right? So it seems like the core web vitals have passed on homepage for desktop, but not for mobile. So that's an interesting one to bear in mind. It's like it seems like it works really well on desktop, but mobile optimization, not great. But yeah, if you're looking for a plugin, I think NitroPack probably the best. Otherwise, you can check out WP Rocket as well. And then also just reduce the amount of code you have on the first page. But to pass the core web vitals on desktop, we've used NitroPack. Hope that helps. ICOY Beats says, "Hey Julian, was wondering if you're still using autoblogging stuff or is it a no-go after last update? If so, how many do you schedule a day?" Yeah, because of the old clapping in that happening recently, I can't really talk openly too much about it. What I would say is just try and publish at a normal rate. Is all of the stuff we were previously showing still working? Yes, we have over 100 sites that are ranking better than ever. And I can't really show that publicly, but if you want to talk more about that, feel free to check out my SEO mastermind. Link is in the comments. But yeah, just publish at a natural rate, right? So the other thing that I would say is vary the rate that you publish at. Because if you look at the perspective of an algorithm, typically what humans are going to do is they might publish like two videos. I mean, they might publish like two blogs a day, then one blog a day, then five blogs a day, etc. They're not going to publish a set schedule where everything is published same time, same day, every day. I don't think most humans are going to do that. And so I would try and vary the frequency. So maybe some days you publish like three, some days you might publish like five, and then some days you might publish like one or not at all, right? And just vary the amount of content that you publish. And then the crawler is always going to be active on your website because you're publishing at a random frequency. It doesn't know how much content to crawl as well, so it's good for indexing. So just a natural rate, basically. Keep it varying up. Gansvar says also looking for affiliates similar to jobs. Yep, I hope that helps. And Akram says, quick question here. Are you seeing cleaner spam-free results on the first page after the latest Google update? Interesting one. I think I heard some crazy stuff about some of the results that are popping up these days. I mean, what we can do, we can pull up Google and we can pull up Bing, right? And let's just type something, I don't know, totally random, like best lawyers in, I don't know, New York, right? And we'll see what's ranking on the first page here. And you can see it's all sponsored listings, right? So this sort of content is not that useful. Now, as we scroll down, we've got a few maps listings, that sort of thing, a few pages, and then it's got a bunch of directory listings, that sort of thing. It's okay. It's okay. If we go and we type that onto Bing, let's see what comes up. So we'll do the normal search right there. And then it gives you the list of the best lawyers straight off the bat in New York, right? It's a featured snippet. I would say that's more useful, right? So if you compare the results from Google versus the results from Bing, which one is more useful as a search engine? Probably Bing. Honestly, like it answers everything that you need to know straight on the page. And then if you need to go into it, you can get more there. Bianca says, let's go. You gotta love a good catchphrase. Fat J says, okay, great, looking forward. And the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company, welcome. Long time no see. Says, great live as ever. Can I please ask, if your site is slipping and the update is still rolling out, would you sit on your hands or act now? I would sit on my hands and wait and be quite patient and just wait for the core update to roll out. There's still a lot of volatility in the SERPs right now. It's pretty crazy. So Google Core Update is still rolling out as far as I'm aware. And if we check like SERP volatility, we check the SERP volatility index, there's a few different ones that we can check. So like Wincher is quite a good one normally. SEMrush is normally a good one, but I can't find it right now. There it is. But as far as I'm aware, everything is still quite volatile and a little bit crazy, right? So 5.1, 50% volatile right there. Let's have a look. It's not too volatile there. Kind of normal volatility actually on Wincher. Let's check SEMrush. Let's check it out. You can use all of these tools for free, by the way, if anyone wants to see. But yeah, you can see it's in the high range on SEMrush as well. So I wouldn't do anything too drastic. Wait for it to roll out and then just see what happens from there. And hopefully you get your results back. I mean, it could go for you or it could go against you. Ganzafar says, that's why I'm your fan, bro. Man, appreciate you watching. Shout out to Ganzafar. Fat J says, can you add for your list of questions for the interview? And we'll put that on. So we're going to open up the questions right here. And how does AI, how does Google check for AI content? Is it limited for the known LLMs or does it cover all of them? Okay. I assume you mean the AI detector. Like, does the AI detector cover all of them? Or does Google check all the LLMs or just the main ones? So that'd be interesting. Yeah, we'll check through. We'll have a cheeky gander later. And yeah, if anyone has any more questions you want me to ask the originality owner tonight, I'm going to interview him in about 23 minutes. Then let me know. Luke says, I'm going to switch up my niche site to more of an e-commerce to dodge any future clappings. What makes an e-com site? Collection pages, but it's individual products plus service pages. I'll sell digital products. Yeah, I mean, a great example. I'll pull up Charles Float's website as an example of e-commerce, right? And I'll pull up Charles Float's website simply because I don't think he'll mind me pulling this up. I think he'll be quite happy with me pulling up an example of his shop, right? But if you look at how he set it up, it's basically like, yeah, you've got your courses, and he's a digital product seller as well. So he's got links to courses that you can buy via e-commerce, audits as well. So it's like an e-commerce shop right there. And I think this is powered with Shopify as far as I'm aware. Then you've got consultations, services, etc. That's pretty much it. Now, I wouldn't say you can see it's pretty lightweight, pretty basic. What I would also recommend if you've got an e-com store is just like have a lot of aspects of branding, right? So you want all the normal touch points that you would normally have, like for example, company number, branding, about me page, maybe some blog content as well. And then you would have your categories with the products inside. And that's pretty much it. The main thing is, right, if you look at the difference between, say, an e-com website versus an affiliate site, is an affiliate site sends traffic externally. Google can easily see that. Whereas with an e-com site, as you saw in Charles Float's website, it's like you're keeping all the traffic within your own site and within your own ecosystem. And therefore, you don't look like an intermediary and you're not sending traffic elsewhere. And therefore, Google sees that and it's kind of like a solid signal to say that your business is a real business, so your site is a real site, not just a niche site or an affiliate site. Same with services as well. We got Kazra, the man, the myth, the legend, who says, hi, Julian, are you still ranking your websites in Ask Jeeves search engine? I remember April 1st. Yeah, so I still truly believe that Ask Jeeves and MySpace, Bebo, they're all coming back soon. DuckDuckGo is another one. So stay tuned. I've actually got a $10,000 course on how to rank number one on DuckDuckGo and MySpace as well. So yeah, make sure you check that out. It's going to be absolutely awesome. If you want to make $1 bazillion in less than 30 seconds, this could be the course for you. It's coming soon. Shijon says, can you give some tips for running a news site? When it comes to running a news site, I think, so I'm not an expert on this, and I always tell people, like, if I'm not an expert, I'm not going to give advice on stuff that I'm not, like, the best person in the world to get advice from. But what I would say with Google News, with a news website is, for example, just try and rank in Google Discover and try and rank in Google News. This is where you can get a lot of your traffic from. The other cool thing about news websites is, if I open up my website right here, if we say, like, I don't know, for example, what happened on April 15th, right? It's not going to give me a search generative experience response, right? So you can see it's all organic, right? Whereas if, for example, I say, what is SEO? It's going to come up with an AI experimental search generative experience response, as you can see right here with the content inside the first page, right? So my point with this is that if you really think about it, if LLMs and AI models are not trained on the latest news yet, then if you've got a news website, this is a really good opportunity. And I think anyone who has a website, if you're going after trending topics, it's a great opportunity because AI can't replace that, right? As far as we know, we haven't got like live AI news reporters. And that's why Google was forced to serve organic listings for current content. Whereas if, for example, you go for something evergreen and generic, like what is SEO, then AI can easily replace you in the listings. And so if you want a search generative proof experience strategy, then go for news related content. And additionally, try and rank in Google News, try and get approved in there early, and try and get on Google Discover as well. A lot of our YouTube videos actually got most of our rankings from Google Discover. They got a lot of traffic from that. Fat Jay says, "Oh, this is a controversial one. NitroPack is a scam." I don't know. I don't know. I mean, for me, it worked well. Like I said, we got optimized on the desktop. We didn't get optimized on mobile, sadly. But yeah, Core Web Vitals were fine, that sort of thing. There's a few other plugins that I want to check out, but I'd be interested to know why you don't like Nitro Rocket. Let's have a look. No WP Rocket, much better. Just understand how it works plus CDN, and you are good. Okay, interesting. So there you go. Different opinions, different courses for different horses. Indra says hello there. Shout out to you. Thanks very much. And Dima says, I tried Nitro, they work, but the price is up there. So Nitro Pack is getting a lot of stick today. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and you're watching it, please do smash a like on it. It just helps me reach more people, answer more questions, help you more, etc. So yeah, Nitro Pack, I think it was a little bit pricey before. We've actually stopped using Nitro Pack since the clapping on our normal sites. And then all the other sites in the background, we actually don't use anything like Nitro Pack, so it would just be too expensive to scale and it wouldn't make sense. So it's an interesting one. I think you know, with anything, if the price is expensive, then I always try and think like, okay, should I cut that expense or do I need to become more profitable as a business? Indra says, I have WP website, passable to use this method. Not sure what the question is there. ICOY Beat says, I appreciate it, brother. Indra says, I'm new in the field. Yeah, if you have any questions, Indra, just ask something, but try and clarify the question, and then I'm happy to answer it. Appreciate you watching. So we've got a question from Mike Forgy, who says, I saw an article that SGE is hitting local SEO hard. Any tips for local SEO besides moving to YouTube? Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, local SEO is still working better than ever. And I did see like one post that said that SG is hitting local SEO as well. But when I search it myself, I can't see SG hitting it at all. So for example, if I say like, okay, best restaurant in Bangkok, it doesn't give me a search generative experience response, which is pretty interesting, right? It gives me the organic listings and then the map pack underneath. So I found this local SEO is working better than ever. But if you need some help on like, I don't know, creating the content or local SEO keyword research, it's crazy easy. So just let me know what sort of niche you want me to look at or some examples and I'll take a look. But yeah, I think local SEO, just go with keywords, then create the content, then build the backlinks, and you should be totally fine. Really good, especially if you've got like a business already that you want to funnel leads to. So for example, as an SEO agency, we want to get loads of leads coming to our sales call funnel, and so we use SEO locally across many different cities, rank that, very easy to put a website together, and then we can start getting traffic from day one. And these are all like assets that we can build and get traffic from. And the cool thing about that is if the website already converts, which it does, then you can drive traffic from other places, right? So you can drive traffic from Facebook ads or Pinterest or whatever, and then just scale it up from there. But yeah, I don't think there's anything special with local SEO. It's pretty easy. Like we don't even do citations. We just go with the normal sort of backlinks, keywords, content. You good to go. She Jones says, on my site, no keywords are ranking in this week, but I got impressions of Google Search Console. Sounds like you have a new site. that's going through the sandbox period, but I don't have enough information to look at it. By the way, if anyone wants to book in a free SEO strategy session and you want more tips and you just want us to look at your website, spend like 30 or 40 minutes just analyzing your site and giving you some tips, then feel free to book that in. Links in the comments. But yeah, let me know more details on that, Shijone, and I'll take a look through it. Dima says DuckDuckGo is not bad. I like it. Absolutely. DuckDuckGo is the future. I mean, all jokes aside, I've actually seen that DuckDuckGo doesn't seem to care about ads so much. So when you look at it, it's actually better than you think. Because, for example, if you go on Google and you type in like best lawyers in New York, it's like all sponsored listings all the way down the page. Whereas if, for example, you go onto DuckDuckGo, they don't seem to care so much about ads and sponsored listings, and you get the no fluff results, which is pretty good. The other thing that I noticed is if you look at Bing have increased their market share dramatically over the last month or so. I think they're up to like 12.1%. But the thing is, they also power Yahoo, as far as I'm aware. I think they power DuckDuckGo as well, and maybe a couple of other big search engines. So their market share is way bigger than most people think. Pretty crazy. All right, let's keep it going then. Fat J says, also, why isn't there AI SEO platform that automates a lot of the work you do? Why isn't there a SEO AI platform? I don't know. It's an interesting one. I think more and more tools are coming out, right? Like, for example, if you go into AppSumo, let me close that, and I'll pull up AppSumo, and we type something like SEO into AppSumo right here. Most of the tools are like AI content related, right? So like Robinize, SEO content machine, Nitro SEO, SEO generator, look, 1,000 pages, 1,000 SEO landing pages in just a few clicks, pretty crazy. But if you look at all of these tools, they're all AI SEO related. So I think there's just more and more tools coming out. But what I've noticed with a lot of them is just the quality is not there, right? So for example, you can get AI to build backlinks for you, but the quality is trash from what I've seen so far. So it's not at that point yet. And even with ChatGPT, like using it directly from, a $1 trillion company, would you rely on that content without any editing to publish on a website that you really care about? I don't think it's there yet. So in terms of like automating everything, it's not there yet. But I think you could build it yourself. So, for example, you could go onto make.com or even Zapier and create your own AI agents. I have a video about that on YouTube as well. And then just go from there and just sort of create your own platform, with make.com or these other sort of automations. NAN is another sort of automation platform that I've not used, but it's supposed to be very good. Journal don débutant en SEO. I think I just butchered the French accent. Says bonjour to you too. And Benex says, hey Julian, can I set up ecom site without products, just articles? Can I escape Google clapping in with that? So I think number one, like, if you there's a lot of niche sites out there that are performing really well, and they're affiliates or they're still making money with display ads. Don't get me wrong. Like, so I don't think you have to worry too much about a Google clapping in. But long term, of course, you do need your own products anyway on a website, right? So, for example, if you start an ecom site or you start an ecom brand, you might not have products ready to sell for like 3, 6, 9 months, right? And so, even if you set up an ecom site now and you don't have any products on that, I think that's totally fine because eventually you can add them on, and that way you just build out the site from there. You build up more products, etc. Even if you build up an ecom site and you don't have any products to sell ever, just create a few of your own, a few digital products, that sort of thing, or even drop ship a few things, and then you should be good to go from there. But the thing is as well, right? This is what I've noticed too, is like this time round, niche sites, affiliate sites have been hit massively. But, long term, over the next 5 years, potentially ecom sites get hit as well. And then they just get replaced by, say, recommendations on ChatGPT. So it's a volatile time for everyone. No one is ever safe from a Google clapping in. If you do something they don't like, they can just de-index you without any sort of explanation. So it's one of those. WP Rocket is great. Yeah, I would agree. I want to check it out more. I want to try more experiments with it. Maxab says, which hosting do you recommend? I use EasyBlog Networks because every website that I put on there gets a different IP address, a different hosting. Everything is separated. And during the clapping, those sites that were on a Google Search Console outside of the ones that got clapped were totally fine. So that hosting, I think, did a pretty good job. Fat J says, I was 100% the first like. Appreciate you. We've got 123 people like watching this video right now. If you're enjoying it, please do smash a like on it. That means a lot to me, and it will help me help more people in the community. Coding Shiksha says, bro, I'm so frustrated with these Google core updates. When will it end? And is it the last core update? Possibly. I think there's going to be another core update probably around October or September. Normally it's like later on in the year. I think there'll be another helpful content update as well. So that's coming too. It's just part of the game, isn't it? The machine is constantly moving and updating and upgrading. And I think especially when Google is under a lot of pressure right now and things have sort of auto corrected in a way they didn't expect from what I can see, then there's going to be even bigger changes. I mean, for example, it seems like if you look at Reddit's analytics, for example, it seems like what happened was Google was so tired of AI content sites ranking that they were like, right, we're just going to rank Reddit, right? Or user generated content. But the problem is, it seems to have overcorrected, right? So I don't know if they planned in this Google Core update, and this is for anyone to speculate, right? None of us know. But if we look, say, over the last month, and we'll wait for that chart to load, you can see that they've grown from 410 million to 500 million traffic. Estimate of Ahrefs. Now, to me, to give a website 100 million extra traffic to a website that isn't that useful, usually when you check out the content, it doesn't answer everything comprehensively. It's not There's not like doctors writing the content, for example, in the YMYL niche. So everything has been a bit overcorrected, which makes me think there's going to be more and bigger updates coming this year. But that could help you potentially if you're doing the right things. Tan says, what about Ezoic sites? Mine is so slow and Leap doesn't work at all. Yeah, Ezoic really slows down your site. We've been using Adstera, and that seems to work pretty well. The ads are a bit dodgy, though. I'm not a big fan of the ads when it comes to Adstera, but the actual content itself is loading pretty quickly. So Adstera is what has lower CPMs. The one that I really like, I'm still a big fan of, is Mediavine. But Mediavine, you need 50,000 sessions. But to be honest, if you want to make decent money with ads, probably you need 50,000 sessions or so per month. The Kent and Sussex Tea Coffee Company says, on my site, I have scoring 100 desktop and 95 to 99 on mobile using Nitro and still not passing. So one of the things about Core Web Vitals, I don't know when you installed it, but one of the things about Google Core Web Vitals is that it's assessed over, I think it's like 30 days or something like that, right? So it's not assessed like straight away. So for example, if I have a website that failed its core updates, failed its Core Web Vitals, and then I install NitroPack to it, it's not just going to pass Core Web Vitals from like day one. It might take like 30 days to actually roll out before it starts working. I'm just conscious I've got to go in 5 minutes. So I'm going to try and answer these questions before we go. MD says, how much time should I wait to get significant results if I start today? So, I mean, if you're learning the process from scratch, give yourself 6 or 9 months, right? And just work on it as a side project. It's going to take time, not only time to rank, but also time to learn. I know for me, for example, it took me so long to figure out how to rank with SEO, but once I did, I got to the point where I can just build websites live on YouTube and start ranking them within months, right? So some of you might see in the old experiments where we were getting like 500 clicks a day on new websites I'd openly on YouTube that I shared with everyone. So once you get to a point where you've done it over and over again, the time and the delay and the patience required all reduces because you know the shortcuts. But for you, for example, if you're starting out from scratch and you're starting today, give yourself 6 or 9 months. Be patient in the process. Last name pronounced 4G. Okay, sorry about getting the name wrong there. Johnny says, how do you rank and rent? So basically the process is, let me see if I can pull up an SERP right here. I think we've got one. Maybe you got taken down. But yeah, when it comes to rank and rent, basically what you want to do is you want to find a service that goes for a decent amount of money, right? So, for example, it might be like sewer repair, and people spend like $10,000 to repair a sewer. And then you would find keywords related to sewer repair on Ahrefs. So, for example, let's type in sewer repair for Canada. And you can see it's pretty easy to rank for that keyword, right? So we try and rank for a bunch of keywords like that. Then we're going to create the content, create it however you want. And from there, start building some backlinks. Usually I build 3 to 5 outreach backlinks per week for each website. And a lot of these sites just start ranking. Now, once they start ranking, you want to send some of these leads for free to different websites. So you start capturing the leads and the traffic, and you start getting contact forms filled in on your website. Send those leads over to local companies for free by speaking to them and arranging that first, and then just go from there. That's basically the whole process. I've done other videos about it on YouTube, so feel free to check those out. Maxab says, is it good practice to use your main keyword plus brand in the title of your GMB profile? I actually don't mess around with GMBs too much, so I'm not going to give advice on something that I'm not an expert on. Mike 4G says, thanks, bud. I think SG took away the generic Q&A from local SEO, but the map app is still great for SEO. Probably the map pack can still work, but from a lot of our sites, we're still getting traffic just from the organic. And the good thing about organic is like it's so easy to create the content. We just create it once, rank it, boom, we're done. Most companies are not going to create content around the same topics and same keywords because they're so long tail and they're so specific that it doesn't make sense for most websites to create the content. And then if you've got a service that you're selling where maybe you make, I don't know, $5,000 to $10,000 per sale, then you can create as much content as you want for all those keywords and you're good to go. I have got 2 minutes left. So we're going to run through these questions really quick now. Rapid fire. So Fat J says, yes, zero of content. I mean, like checking ranks, etc., telling you what to change. Yeah, I still think Ahrefs is the best for that. I've not seen anything decent at all apart from that. Luke says, I removed all speed optimization plugins from my site and my site loads 2 times faster. That's an interesting one. I've heard mixed reviews on that. So some people say ignore page speed insights, and some people say, you got to be focused on page speed insights. I would say look at the dwell time. If you're really concerned about it, you could look at the dwell time and then just compare before and after, right? And if you see people sticking around on the website for longer and you see lower bounce rates and less people poker sticking from your website back to Google, that's a good sign that your website is loading quickly enough. Herschel says how to get the initial viewers to a new website in the business and finance blog site. Check out my free SEO course. If you implement everything in there, that's basically how you do it. Doctor Who says hello to you too. And JN says update is the fun in this game. That's it. Movers and shakers all the time. It's like snakes and ladders. Johnny N. Vine says, don't Mediavine have the 10K session entry now? Yeah, they've created a new platform called Journey. But Journey, I've not heard of anyone getting approved for it, and I've not heard anyone making money from it. So let's see. Maybe it's going to get launched later. Any idea on the March 2024 call? Rollout date. So I think John Mueller recently said it's going to last 1 or 2 weeks more. But then there's going to be the Parasite SEO update afterwards. So that's going to be interesting too. Goldstar says, good work. I've got to go literally right now. Mohammed Usman says, hey boss, shout out to you. And Shi Jones says, in my search console, I have queries. Blah. All right. Right, I'm going to do another live stream later this week to answer some more of these questions. So I appreciate everyone who's jumped on the call. Thanks for all your questions there. If you enjoyed it, please do smash a like on this. If you want a free SEO strategy session, make sure you click. Yeah, link is in the comments and description. And for a free SEO strategy session. And if you want to get my free SEO course, link is in the comments and description again. It will teach you everything you need to know about how to get rankings, how to do keyword research, link building, traffic diversification, how to do on-page SEO, technical SEO, etc. Everything is in that free SEO course. It's better than the courses that you're paying like $5,000 for. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash the like on it if you enjoyed it, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.